but it wasn't much I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I stand before the Lord of Sun with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
They were heading out to Texas, where they weren't hit as hard, but to meet the governor. I appreciate everybody being here. John Bell, thank you very much. John, thank you very much. And I know you're going to be talking to us about some additional help. And actually, I look forward to that meeting. Normally I wouldn't, but the people can use it down here. I see incredible. What's the percentage of people that have insurance on their homes?
It's around the 50%. Now, most of the area you saw today, those are most of the houses.
Right.
And so those
Incredible.
individuals are not going to be able to stay in their house.
Not very long, I can say.
The biggest challenge is for those who have it, they still have about $7,500 hurricane deductible, which is very, very hard. But we've got these systems.
So we'll be talking about that, I think. So we'll be talking about it. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And I'm here to support the great people of Louisiana. It's been a tremendous state for me. I love the people. We've had a good relationship right from the beginning. It's very important that I was here. And already met some people that have been absolutely devastated. This was a tremendously powerful storm. In fact, when it came in, it was actually much bigger than Katrina, I would say. Katrina being somewhat of a landmark, I think, in terms of devastation, but this had more power. This was almost coming in at a 5. It was a 5, a little bit out offshore, and it came in as a 4, but 150 mile an hour. It was up to 185 at one point. I don't know that we've ever seen that. But we're joined by Governor John Bel Edwards and Senator John Kennedy, two friends of mine. They've done a fantastic job representing the state, and acting Secretary of Homeland Security, who's no longer really acting in my mind because he just got a promotion. And if John Kennedy can push him with Bill, that would be terrific, because he deserves it. He's been doing a great job. There's the man. Don't talk to me anymore. I've done it for you. Right there is the man. But thank you very much, Chad. And FEMA Administrator Pete Gaynor. Pete, great job. He's all over the country right now doing different things, and we have a lot of different elements happening, but we have to take care of Louisiana. We have to take care of Texas. Texas got a little bit lucky. Thanks also to the members of Congress that are here. I have a little list. That's a lot of members. I don't know, where are you folks back there? I love those guys. First of all, Louisiana Attorney General. Where's Jeff? Jeff Landry. Jeff. I could use you, Jeff. You're so good. He is so tough and so good, and I agree with so much of what you do, almost all of it. I'm not sure that I've seen anything I don't agree with. Great job. Jeff Landry, everybody. Thank you very much. Congressman Steve Scalise. Steve, he's probably the bravest man in the room, but he's done good. And I actually think he's better looking today than he was 3 years ago, if you want to know the truth. He went through hell, and we found out that his family loves him, that's for sure, because they were with you all the way. That was a rough time in that hospital that night, right? That was a rough time, Steve. We're glad to have you. People love you. People love you. Congressman Clay Higgins. And Clay, thank you very much, Clay, being here. Congressman Garrett Graves. Garrett, nice to see you. What are you doing sitting back there? I can't believe it. That's not like you and Mike. I can't believe you guys. They're being low-key today for a change, right? And Mike Johnson, my friend, and he's been a supporter. They're all warriors. These people are warriors. They fight for us, and they fight for the people that they represent, and they're incredible warriors. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it very much. And State Senator Mark Abraham. And Mark, thank you. Good job you're doing. I hear great job. James Wascom, Director of Louisiana Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. Good. You've got plenty to prepare for. Now, do you have other storms, James, coming in? Is that what I'm hearing? You got to be kidding, James. Don't let that happen.
Not necessarily Louisiana, but they're coming across the Atlantic.
In other words, they're heading in a general direction. Is that what you're saying? That's not good. What looks like the likelihood that they actually form and reach? So you had some tremendously bad storms 50, 60, 70 years ago. You and I were talking about dates. What's the difference now, would you say, in terms of storms coming in now compared to many years ago?
They seem to be more frequent, Mr. President, and strong. So there's one thing that's probably what I'd say.
The other thing is, President, this one went from a tropical storm to Category 4
Quickly.
in 36 hours.
That's right.
And so we had a lot of people who early on, I don't think they were going to evacuate. But hours before landfall, it finally reached the strength level where I think people decided that they needed to. And Tony, you told me that people evacuated late. And thank God they did, because there's no way we can be sitting here right now with 12 deaths.
So that really, the fact that they finally did get out, they saw it build. It built so fast, didn't it? Because it looked like it was going to be the lesser between Marco and this, and Marco, it disintegrated, and this just came in roaring. It's unbelievable. Nick Hunter. Nick, thank you. Great job, Nick. Great job you're doing. We appreciate it. Mayor of Lake Charles, you got hit hard. Were you the hardest hit, would you say, Nick?
I can't quantify if you were the hardest hit, but I can tell you we took a hell of a punch.
Yeah, you took a big punch.
Yes, sir.
But you'll be back. 100%.
100% of the city is without power.
So when people get used to air conditioning, and this is very hot, when people get used to air conditioning and all of a sudden they don't have it, that's a very traumatic situation.
It is. You find out how acclimated we are to modern conveniences at a time like this, and no power, very limited amounts of water right now, making it very difficult for a lot of people in Lake Charles.
Well, you have a great reputation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael Danahay. Michael? Oh, hi, Michael. Hi, Michael. How are you doing, Michael? It's Mayor of Sulphur. Are you hit, would you say, like this one? Pretty much like this one? Very close, huh? How's it going?
It's going well. We have certain basic services back up and going through the budget process.
Well, good job. Good luck. And the Mayor of Westlake, Bob Hardy. Thank you, Bob. How's it going? Similar. Well, you'll all get it going. One thing I know about this state, they rebuild it fast. There's no problem. And we'll supply what we have to supply. And you know what a lot of that is, I think, called green, right? And we'll take care of you. I'll be speaking with you and John. And I just want to recognize Bill Cassidy and Congressman Ralph Abraham, two great people. And Bill's going through a problem, and I hope Ralph is fine, right? Ralph is fine. And Bill is going through a problem, but I spoke to him the other day, and it sounds like he's doing well. And he's been, along with John, a terrific senator. So Hurricane Laura was a Category 4 storm, and it was actually, for a little while, a 5. It was up to 175, almost 180 miles an hour. Few people have ever even heard of that, with winds. Currently, when it came in, it was at 150 miles per hour at landfall, damaging thousands of homes and causing hundreds of road blockages and major power outages. And I heard, I think this is correct, that it was the most powerful storm coming in and hitting your land in 150 years.
Yes, sir.
Coming in.
And that's assuming the measure was right.
Yeah, you don't know. How did they do it? They put their finger up, right? I just visited the Cajun Navy and the Relief Center. They're fantastic. I want to thank the pastors. And we had a great pastor just gave us a little prayer, and he didn't choke. He gave a great prayer, I'll tell you. He got up there and he just gave it. I've seen some didn't quite get it out as nicely, but he did a fantastic job. And I want to thank all of the pastors across the state, people of faith across the state who have been helping families and communities recover. Before the storm struck, I approved an emergency declaration under the auspices of John and John Bell. We had a very quick one. I would say you got that almost immediately. Wouldn't you say, John? Like I think before the storm got here, you had your emergency. We knew what was coming.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, thank you, John. But we got it very quickly, and we're going to be discussing some other things in a little while. Yesterday, I approved a major disaster declaration that helps individuals and business owners, which is a little bit different, but it goes right to the individual. And I've signed that already, and so you're all set to go on that. FEMA has delivered 2.6 million liters of water and 1.4 million meals, and that's a lot of meals. So you're pretty busy, I guess, Pete, right? That's incredible. Great job. Your people are incredible. You know, I haven't had, and Pete's done this now for a long time, but I haven't had one complaint with all of the storms we've had in Texas and here, and I haven't had one complaint. So you've done a hell of a job, Pete. Thank you. Pete Gaynor, everybody. Don't hire him away, please. You know, private enterprises look and they say, hey, let's go take him away. Don't let him leave, John, please. All right? Is that all right?
He's the best.
We're also assisting state and local officials to restore water to roughly 180,000 residents and to protect energy infrastructure. I want to thank the men and women of FEMA and the first responders and the law enforcement, which we love and we cherish and are doing a fantastic job and don't get the kind of recognition that they should get, but actually they do because the people love them, right? The people love them, and we appreciate our law enforcement. Our hearts go out to the families who have lost loved ones. What is the number, would you say, John, right now?
We've lost a dozen.
Amazing. Well, it's a tremendous number, but you were thinking it could have been a lot worse. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So 15 years ago this week, Louisiana was devastated by Hurricane Katrina. Katrina seems to be the standard. It seems to be the one that's 15, is it actually today? 15 years ago today. And whether you come from Louisiana or Fifth Avenue in New York City, you know all about Katrina, right? That was a bad, bad deal and devastation. And now the devastation was far greater, even though the storm probably wasn't as powerful.
Yes, sir, but that was because we had legislators and we were
Correct.
still but the storm itself,
Are your levees now in good shape?
but that's it.
The best ever. Good. That's good. So you came together and you rebuilt. America helped, and here we are today. And you're going to have this situation taken care of very, very quickly. I'd like to ask Governor John Bell Edwards to say a few words, and then John, if you would say a few words, and we'll take a few questions from the press if you'd like. We'll talk about primarily the storm. Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, for visiting today. We really appreciate the close cooperation, all the communication you've had with members of your cabinet, but especially the Homeland Security and Administrative Standards. So forth. The pre-landfall declaration was critically important, and then yesterday, the major disaster declaration is huge for our state. It unleashes assistance that we just can't get without. The strongest storm we know in 160 years. It actually is still a hurricane strength in Ruston, Louisiana. They've never seen that before. And we have power outages from here to there. Of course, it's worse here, but it's affected our water system. And so we have nursing homes, hospitals, jails. They have the ability to function with a generator, but not without water. And so we're still evacuating some of these facilities. So one of the biggest, and we're working with FEMA, we're bringing new generators, and restoring not just the power to the water system, but the damage as well.
Are you in need of water too?
Yes, sir.
Water, bottles of water?
Yes, sir. And we have lots coming from FEMA. We were able to get Walmart to start doing their own distribution in their store parking lots today. The biggest challenge would be power restoration. I'll get a full briefing from you on Monday, but I wanted to tell you they counted 172 major transmission towers that have completely failed. And 70 of those are the largest steel towers that they have. They were rated for 140-mile-an-hour winds, but they're all down.
Right.
There are only
Well, there's
30
one right outside. It's some tower that comes in.
There's only 30 in the state, so we're going to be 3 weeks or so getting power back to Lake Charles. Our effort is going to be trying to identify those structures that are able to receive power once it's restored to this area. But a lot of work to do there, Mr. President. You saw the National Guard, and they've been running our community testing for COVID and our surge testing sites from the beginning. We will restart our testing on Monday. All across the state of Louisiana for COVID, you know that. And the last thing I want to share with you is last night, because of your help with the declaration, we were able to get non-congregate shelter in the of the storm.
Right.
Because normally we put people in gymnasiums and mass shelters, but in the COVID environment, we don't want to do that.
Right.
We had 10,000 Louisianans in a hotel room, 7,000 in Louisiana, 3,000 in Texas. And this is going to have to continue for some period, as you saw. People can't go home. And some people who stay home are going to have to leave. And we're working with FEMA, and we have various housing programs that we will tap into to try to make sure that the non-congregate shelter remains available. But we want to thank you because your declaration, pre-landfall, really opened that up.
You know, when you think of it, Louisiana's been through a lot with the COVID and with this, a couple of other things, and
Unfortunately,
you have all done a very good job.
most cases we're down.
Is that right? You've done a great job. You've done a great job. Thank you very much. And Nick, I'm going to come back and find out at the end of 3 weeks how popular you are.
Yes, sir. Well, this
Okay.
is definitely a big test.
This is a big test,
Yes, sir.
but you're going to be very good. You may be very much better if you could be so. If you could be better, which I doubt.
Thank you.
John, please say a few words. John Kennedy.
Mr. President, a lot of Washington politicians would not be here right now. a lot of presidents wouldn't be here right now. With an election a few months away. And let's don't kid each other. We don't care in Louisiana. It's a question of whether you cared more this time than last time. And I think we'll do better this time. We did pretty good last time.
Very good. We did good.
But you came here. And you never know how much that means. I don't know why bad things happen to good people. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask. But this is really bad. And it worked on a lot of people. And these are our people.
Yeah.
Our people. These are people who get up every day, they go to work, they pay the law, they pay their taxes, they try to do the right thing. We're going to need help. And I know that's not all their job. I was through my heavy lifting, and Steve, and Garrett, and Mike, and Dr. John Fleming, and we got to get Congress going on. But we need you back. We'll recover. Louisiana is tough as a timeline. But this will get us there. We toured it. John Bell and I are working together on this. We're going to be joined at the end. We both been over the helicopter. It's great. You're a part, as you know. So thank you for your help on doing anything. You didn't have to be here today. Well, I thought this was a bit of Wisconsin. You can't hear it. And that says a whole lot about you as a person.
Or they would have been in a basement. So,
You said that. They didn't hear that.
you know, if anybody would like to make a statement, Steve, would you like to make a statement?
I just want to thank you, Lieutenant, for coming here. You know, where you just came from, when we were at where the some relief center operations, we saw this after Hurricane Katrina. You had people just come together, neighbors help neighbors. Cajun Navy, which is something that has developed over the last few years of just a bunch of people that are Cajuns from around this area, and they know that we have tough times. We're resilient people, and they help everybody else, and they're showing up. The pastors of faith-based groups, you met Pastor Schumacher, who said
Yeah,
wonderful
right.
prayer.
That's right.
The faith-based groups have come together after Katrina when there were difficulties getting relief. It was the faith-based groups that got in first. And now we've got such great coordination between faith administration. Theater's been great, making sure that we get everything we need. I know Secretary Wolf reached out as well before the storm. The governor's been on top of this, but you getting that declaration quickly helped us to prepare. These are tough, resilient people. They're going to fight to rebuild, but knowing that the federal government's got their back and moves everything.
And we do, Steve. And we do have their back. Mike Johnson, would you want to say something?
I want to echo what's been said, Mr. President. The impact of this storm came on the coast and hit our troops here really hard. We went all the way up the whole map of the state. And we have residents and citizens all the way up to the north central part of the state that are equally affected in many ways. And so they're grateful that you're here. I have thousands of constituents and people who want me to tell you how much they appreciate the attention that you're giving to our state.
All right.
And
I always will. I always will. Fellas, anybody?
Clay Higgins, this is Clay Higgins' district. I know he's been
Let's go.
active from day one.
Clay, go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I cannot describe how meaningful it is to be here today with the people that I'm honored to serve. I was born in 1961. I've lived through many powerful hurricanes. I've never seen anyone hit this hard, this fast. And this community is resilient and strong, and yes, we will rebuild. We're going to have to stand together strong with our federal partners and state and local government. It's been amazing to observe interaction and cooperation across any sort of political or ideological lines. We're standing strong. We do need your help, and I cannot describe the humanitarian crisis that we're facing. Here in Lake Charles is an example. You've seen some of it. It's time for love and prayer and action and brotherhood and standing together. I thank our governor and his office has been incredibly responsive to mine, and I believe we demonstrated the very best of American courage and strength, and you being here accentuates that. So thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you.
So Clay, 1960, when you're a young guy. I didn't know you were so young. He's a young guy.
It's for miles, not for you.
A lot of miles.
Mr. President, I'd like to
Yes, please.
recognize we got Sheriff Tony Mancuso,
Good.
Sheriff Johnson here, and all the first responders and the work they've done. But remind you and everyone that 4 years ago, or just a little over 4 years ago, when you came down to Louisiana, it basically showed America that you care about people in your economy. We certainly thank you for coming out.
That was a bad one.
Yeah.
That was the water more than
Water,
that.
yeah.
That was a bad one. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Great job you're doing.
So I'd like to share one thing before we conclude, is you signed a major disaster declaration, and that allows for individual assistance. So I'm going to give out a phone number that those disaster survivors that need assistance from the federal government can register
That's
right
good.
now.
Good.
1-800-621-3362. Or you can go online if you have internet service, disasterassistance.gov. Either way, register and we can provide you disaster assistance. If you don't register, then we can't do that. So I encourage everyone, in the last 15 hours, sir, since you signed in, 15,000 people have registered. So we want more.
You're gonna help us get additional parishes added as we get through.
Yes, sir. That's part of the process. So right now, let's just get that phone number out and let's get people registered.
Give the information once again, please.
1-800-621-3362 or disasterassistance.gov to register for assistance from Hurricane Laura.
Garrett, anything to say?
Mr. President, if I remember, I think you actually were in this room 4 years ago.
I was.
You came back down 16.
Hasn't changed.
And Stephen and Senator Kennedy said, there's no community in this country where people will come in and get the shirt off their back to help one another. And people they're sheltering one another, they're cooking food and everything they can do. But as the mayor and others know, no electricity, no water, there's a certain level of things that are really going to require the government's help. And we do appreciate you coming back down. We appreciate you being here. We really are going to need some help with that. And one last thing, we're asking all these people to come back and rebuild. And if we're asking them to do that and we don't have a safe place, meaning a place that's safe from floods, here in southwest Louisiana and in central Louisiana, some really big projects that I think will help provide security to these people that can come back and build here in southwest, that can build in the Gulf area and help ensure that this is a safe place to come back and rebuild.
That's great. Thank you, Garrett, very much. I appreciate it. Hey, Pete, let me ask you, you're bringing the big generators down? Are they here yet, or you're bringing them
We
down?
have 112 that are here and more on the way, and we'll work with the state and the locals and the Army Corps of Engineers to make sure that we meet those needs.
Thank you very much. Any questions of any of the folks? Could you possibly take that off, because I can't hear you.
How's the storm impacting the spread of the coronavirus? We know the National Guard was employed to help with the pandemic, but now we're redeployed for this.
Well, they're doing a very good job down here with respect to that, and even pre-storm, but I'll ask John Bell to say a few words about that, John.
Well, thank you. Obviously, we didn't like losing much of this past week with our community-based testing. We're still reporting more than 10,000 tests a day, but on Monday we will resume our community and surge testing across the state of Louisiana using the National Guard. Of course, our hospitals and clinics continue to test every single day, but we don't like not testing. We're going to turn that back on Monday, which is why we have all 6,200 National Guardsmen mobilized today, is because they're doing the cleanup, they're cutting the trees down, they're distributing food and water and ice and tarps. They're managing warehouses, they're delivering generators, and on Monday they're going to start testing as well. So I appreciate the question, but we're going to get right back on.
Mr. President, is your administration turning on EPA air monitors to check for toxic chemicals coming from some refineries and chemical plants for us?
Chad, you want to answer that question?
Is that something that you're tracking?
I don't know the answer to that. I can get you the answer on what we're doing locally.
I can tell you that we had the EPA on the ground on Friday. It might have been Thursday. I lose track of time. They've been on the ground with DEQ in the Lake Charles, West Lake Sulphur area monitoring for air quality. So they've been here since the day the storm hit. I'm quite certain of that.
take it. Go ahead, just take it over. Well, that was the question I asked these folks. Are the storms more frequent? Are they bigger? Now, in all fairness, you probably had your biggest storms. I think you said your biggest one was in the 1800s, but who knows? Who knows? It might have been a very small storm by comparison, right? There's no way of really understanding that or knowing that. But look, the area's been a storm area. There are tremendous advantages to being here. People love it. That's why they would never leave. They wouldn't even think about leaving. One thing I've met a lot of people, not one person would even think about it. I think if they ever even suggested it, that would be the end of them, right? So this is home. This is home. John, would you like to answer that question? They're talking about the storms and frequency. Do you see a difference?
Well, let me first ask the cooperation of the press. I know it wasn't a 20-foot storm surge, but 9 feet isn't top foot. It did an extraordinary amount of damage. Still clouds and hell. And it wasn't just wind damage. 9 feet is devastating. And I flew over yesterday in Lake Charles. There may be a structure or two that won't hit damage, but I haven't seen it. This thing was 600 miles wide. Katrina was 400 miles wide. We're thankful we didn't get a 20-foot storm surge. But imagine 9 feet of water coming through that door right now. We're all dead. And that's what came through. And it's not just Lake Charles and south of here. It goes all the way up, north of here, bends over across the state, hits just about every one of our congressional districts. So this was, you know, Katrina, people heard more about it because the levees closed. But this is as bad as I've ever seen, folks.
And I have heard that if the path was different, we got lucky in a sense. Maybe not for the people in the way, but frankly, we got a little bit lucky. If the path were over a little bit more one way or the other, this could have been by far the worst storm, the worst hurricane you've ever had.
If the eye had passed on the west side of the Calcasieu Ship Channel, the southerly wind was blowing all over the rock. It stayed on the east side.
Yeah.
And so you had east winds, west winds, and north winds working rather than south winds.
Got a little bit lucky. That's what I've heard from some people. Thank you all very much. We'll be making another stop soon. Thank you very much.
Put your mask on for me, guys.
Who's going to get this one? Sell it tonight on eBay, 10,000.
Trump Town USA, big name, Cameron Parish.
Thank you. Thank you, fellas. We okay? Let's go, Steve.
Cameron is the parish that delivered you the highest percentage of any parish or county
Delivered
in the
me?
country.
Oh, that's
Sheriff's right there.
which is the sheriff?
The sheriff right over here. This one right over here, yeah.
Come on over. So we're okay? Everything?
Sheriff.
People look good? Give me a piece of paper. Give me your...
Sheriff.
You have a tag?
Yeah. Sheriff.
Give me a piece of
Yeah, yeah.
Mike, how are you, man?
Good, John.
So you'll be okay, right? Won't be pleasant.
Parish delivered the highest
You'll get it back,
of
yeah.
any parish.
Now,
Got a mask, put her on, guys.
if I put your name down, it loses a lot of value. So just sell it tonight on eBay. Give me another one, John. Thank you. We'll take good care. We're gonna work with the guys. We're gonna give you what you need, fast. Here's a pen.
All right, Garrett, I'll give you a king cake for that.
Thank you. Great job. Great job.
Mr. President, I graduated from law school with this.
That's the smartest guy in our class.
Is
right
that
there,
right?
Mr.
Really?
President. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was smart. No.
President, thank you for being here, sir. God bless you, and we're with you.
Thank you, fellas. We'll get you what you
This
need.
is the one at the highest percentage right here in the whole country.
And I changed your phone number, look, I appreciate it.
Oh, you changed.
Hey, we need your help.
We'll get you. No,
He's
we'll-
good, good people. He's got our back. He's got our back.
I got some pictures. I made it, man. Thank you. Hey, Mike, we got one more stuff, right?
There you see what President Trump is like when he doesn't think the cameras are on. Little bonus coverage there at the end. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you back here Monday. If anything comes up before then, we'll be back live on air. I'm Joe Seals from the RSBN studio in Auburn. Have a great rest of your weekend.